Welcome to the Wanted Project podcast. It is my joy to introduce you to my friend Gunnar.
Hi there. My nickname is Gunnar, and whether you believe it or not, I'm a little shy. But Nidra's been super patient and asked me to make a little video about the Wanted Project and my involvement in that. And I know that Nidra already talked a little bit about the initial conversations. It's kind of weird to talk about the whole experience, but the group of us that were talking when this whole project came about was a group of women that understood and supported the need for the female-only space at the Michigan Women's Music Festival. And I'd been talking about an incident that happened at the Michigan Women's Music Festival at Fest. It happened Friday night, August 13th, 1999. And it was a pretty, I can't even begin to go into what actually all went down that night, but for me, that was the shift from it's sort of pre and post that night for me, my experience at Michigan. And pre that night, I felt like I could be myself there, and that I was seen as female there, and that anytime anyone questioned whether or not anyone was a girl or a woman or whatever, the answer prior to that, in my experience on the land as a festie, was that the answer was always everyone here is a woman. And for the most part, we continue to have that answer, but it wasn't the truth anymore after 99. There was a big protest that night, and it wasn't the first protest, and it wasn't certainly not the last either, but it was a big one. And the pretty much the demands of the individuals that showed up were that the intention needed to include trans women and trans men and pretty much anyone that felt that they belonged and wanted to be there. And so the shift on the land after that night was, from my experience, was that, even though the space and the place was still magical and healing and, better than the rest of the world, it had become similar to the rest of the world in that, I was consistently questioned. I'll just leave it at that. Sometimes literally, sometimes just with the look, sometimes with, but it was the same thing. It was the same thing as, when I walk into a public restroom and the look of fear on a woman's face when she sees me, or anger. Or whatever her emotional response is to assuming that a man has walked into the restroom. I had that same feeling there at Michigan, where women would slide away from me if I sat next to them, or especially at night. Nighttime was just tricky business. But that for me, I decided to keep going, and then I kept going because it was still better than the rest of the world. I still got questioned less, and I still got treated better. But that the trans movement, whatever, it was Camp Trans, it was Trans Menace, it was Trans Women Belong Here. It's like group after group coming in and whittling away at the safety and the space that I had going. A lot from that night forward. So anyway, when this group was talking about that, and Nidra talked about her memories of that conversation, and I don't even remember how it came up, but what I do remember is sort of recognizing and understanding that I am a poster girl for Fest. I mean, it saved my life. I mean, I was a baby dyke that was still trying to like pass and look as normal as possible for, until I didn't care anymore. Until I went to Fest and saw other bearded women and saw, I'm not going to name names, but you know who you are. And saw these fierce, badass lesbians and knew that I could survive in the world and live in the world. If they could do it, I could do it. And then I had become somewhat of a recognizable face, and that if we were going to do this project and this wanted poster, that I knew I needed to be in on it. So I literally walked out into the backyard and took a selfie up against my house and sent it to Nidra. And of course she did her magic and came up with the fantastic looking poster, and the group Hive Mind changed the words and edited and did what we did before we actually put it out that year. But it was funny because we even in that group we even like questioned things like how do I say, like we're in the group and I'm part of the group and we're talking about this poster, and there's comments made about how maybe I need a different picture because clearly it wasn't a professional picture, but somebody made the comment that I looked tired and sad, and I'm thinking, fuck yeah, I'm tired and sad. It's not an easy fucking world to live in when you don't play by the rules the way you're supposed to play by the rules. So I voted to go ahead and stick with the original picture again, the selfie. And I was tired and sad. I still am. I'm super grateful now though too. So anyway, that was the first picture, and it was wild to have the posters up around the land, and it's been it's just been, I don't even know how to really describe it, that, every once in a while when Nidra, posts something else, or, the trading cards that came out, and, I wasn't going to get through this without being emotional. Anyway, little girls or baby dykes or whatever, like coming up and asking for my autograph. And, what's amazing and heartbreaking at the same time is that place saved so many of us. Fest saved me. And I know it saved a lot of other women. And just recently, a friend of a friend is talking about do I want to go here? Do I want to go here? Yeah, she's talking about wanting to like have her breasts removed, and the beginning conversations about transitioning. And what breaks my fucking heart is that she is one of many that I know who either have or are considering such drastic measures, and they're not fucking considering it because they're trapped in the wrong body or because of, whatever. They're considering it because of how this fucking world treats us girls, It's not right. And what is infuriating to me is that I may or may not be able to have a discussion with her and help her just see my face and know that there are other options. And, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that, in every case it's not, whatever, transitioning and especially F to M, I mean, that shit's got to be right for somebody sometimes, and I'm not saying anything about that. What I'm saying is that too much right now, it's like handed to them on a platter, and it's given as the only option. I mean, the group of detransitioners that came to Fest, the 39th Fest for the first time, they'd never fucking seen an old dyke. They'd never seen a bearded woman like me walking around. They didn't know that we could exist in the world like this. They thought their only choice was to transition. They thought that was their only choice. And so Michigan gave us other choices. It gave us a place and a space to show up and see each other. It gave us a safe place to talk about this shit. And I was going to try not to swear. I was going to try not to get emotional. I was going to try not to get off into all kind of tangents. And there I go with all of them. Whatever. I'm feeling like the Wanted Project, it came out. I don't even know what all our mission was from the beginning, but I think now that we don't have Fest anymore, this is our next best bet for somehow reaching all the, I'm going to say lesbians. I mean, I don't know. I suppose there should be straight women too that can maybe want to transition, I suppose. But all of the youngsters and all of the women how many women hate their bodies? I mean, shit. Do you know a female on the planet? Do you know your mother or your sisters or your cousins or your friends or your anybody who love their body and think that they are hot shit? How many women do you know? Easily come by self-confidence and self-esteem and self-love and appreciate and love and accept their body. I don't know any. Michigan allowed me to accept my body on way more levels than just whether or not I dress like a boy or dress like a girl or any kind of other stereotypical fucking bullshit gender shit. Michigan helped me feel safe in my own skin, and we don't have that anymore. And so the Wanted Project, in my opinion, is the next best thing. If we can get enough of these videos out and maybe even, I know Nidra's talked about wanting to make a feature-length documentary and stuff. I feel like I should have a fucking GoPro on my hat all the time. Just even going into regular stores. I mean, I'm fortunate enough that, well, whatever. I'm fortunate. I'm fortunate enough that the shit people say to me and the questions that people ask and the opinions that people feel entitled to share with me and the physical contact, people feel entitled to touch me in so many places, so many spaces. And what I'm fortunate about is that stuff used to throw me into shame spiral, frankly, and I don't go there anymore. I'm able to shake it off and stand tall, and I'm convinced that my my best superpower is resiliency. I know how to rise every day, motherfucker. I know how to rise and continue to suit up and show up and do what I need to do. So I'm real grateful about that. But I don't know where all these younger sisters go. And it's not even just, whatever. Whatever. It's so much stuff. It's so many layers. So anyway, if you got it in you to spread the word about this project, or if you know a special little somebody that's struggling with accepting their body and feeling like they got any space in this world and you think that this project can help them out, spread the word. Maybe I'll go through and answer the other questions sometimes, but for now, I think that's all I can do. I can't even believe I did this with Nidra, this better be a draft, you know what I'm saying? It's bedhead and head, and I've been crying all day today because I just found out about a friend dying, and you know what I mean? I mean, it's real. It's real. So, It's real. Nidra, thanks for doing this project. Thanks to everyone that was involved in it from the start. Thanks to everyone who's supported the project in any way so far. And here's to everyone, boy or girl, everyone being able to figure out how to be okay in their skin and okay in their bodies, and we figure out how to change the world and how the world treats us. We don't have to change ourselves. All this fucking bathroom shit right now. Seriously? We gotta keep spreading the light, y'all. Keep spreading the good and the love and the light. All the woo. All the woo. All four directions.
I want to thank Gunnar for participating in this Wanted Project podcast. Please know that she did get over the idea that was a draft and approve that this get posted. I appreciate her participation. I think I can safely say for the both of us, you are wanted, you are loved, and we want you to know.
Mothers and daughters, women born women, and we gather in the light of the August moon. Amazon women, and we're out in the woods, and we heal by the light of the August moon. Deaf women, hearing women, dancing in the light of the August moon. Girls and women in the Michigan woods, and we love by the light of the August moon. First time I came to festival, learned I'd always been afraid. To finally lay that burden down, I could not believe.